So this is a little video all about the fight or flight response and how it affects chronic pain. Over the years, I think I've had explanations of central nervous system sensitization from about maybe anywhere from 6 to 10 medical practitioners, doctors, physiotherapists, you name it. So I'm going to try and relay those explanations back to you and the way that I've sort of got my head around it, and hopefully it could be helpful for you in terms of understanding it as well. What I'm going to do is repeat some of the best explanations that made so much sense to me and made it the clearest, and I'm going to leave out the more mushy explanations. We start out with pain. And whatever, the reason, your pain could be undiagnosed, your pain could have an illness-related reason, it could be neuromuscular, it could be joint-related. There's so many causes for chronic pain. The pain sends signals to your fight or flight system, also known as the sympathetic nervous system. And the current medical thinking is that then creates a lot of biochemical and hormonal type changes in the body. It leads to, long-term release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, and they then start to have knock-on effects of other parts of the body. You might have watched my video about sleep, in which I describe central nervous system sensitization as a bit like an engine that's being over-revved, right? It's just too, the revs are too high, and it's bad for the engine, okay? Like, we all know that. So they think that all of these additional negative, unhealthy levels of hormones and biochemical changes creates a situation where the nerve relays are actually being made more sensitive. So all of the biochemical and hormonal changes that are going on as a result of the chronic pain, they then create a situation where the nerve relays are being more switched on. So I guess you couldn't you think about, let's say if we think about chronic pain, right, as an open fire, and then if we think about central nervous system sensitization as adding fuel to the fire. So the fire is already there, but the central nervous system sensitization is making it stronger, is making it worse. I mean, without being alarming about it, maybe it's like pouring a little bit of lighter fluid on it, That is a bit alarmist actually, isn't it? No, let's just go back to thinking of it as a log. Okay, it's just a log or a lump of turf or coal. It changes, I think from memory, I think it sort of changes some of the chemicals that are involved with how they think that nerve relays work. So as far as I know, that's what doctors mean when they talk about stress making chronic pain worse. The thing is the way they explain it, or the way they say it, is it sometimes sounds like they're saying stress causes chronic pain, which isn't what they're actually trying to say, as far as I understand it. You may have heard it called central nervous system sensitization. If you've heard that phrase, that's what they're talking about. Sometimes the way some doctors explain it, it sounds like they're saying, oh, you need to stay away from stress because I think you can't handle stress. I just think sometimes they don't explain it very well, or maybe because it's a complicated concept, and they don't get that much training on it unless they're, it's a specialist. There is a physical theory behind it, is what I'm saying. And it's not just that your doctor is saying, oh, if you had less stress in your life, you wouldn't have pain. That's kind of not what they're trying to say, as far as I can understand it. It's one of the things that they recommend just to try to make an overall improvement. And the thing with chronic pain is what you're doing really, what we're doing most of the time is looking for a little bit of improvement in lots of different areas. So hopefully you can get like a tiny improvement from this and a tiny improvement maybe from that. and a tiny improvement from that. And that's why a lot of the time now when you go to a pain specialist doctor, they'll start talking to you about what they call, I think it's called the biopsychosocial approach, but it's medications, talking therapies, you know, thinking about your home life, how your home is set up, thinking about your commute, all sorts of things. So they kind of want to look holistically if they can, and that's why they talk about stress. I came across many years ago, gosh, I think it must be like 7-8 years ago now, an explanation on YouTube, which is a lecture that's being given, I think from memory, she was based at a university in America, and she's a pain psychologist. And the heading of the lecture is great because it's like how to not be sympathetic about pain or something like that. So it's a play on the words for the sympathetic nervous system. And she gives this lecture about how she, you know, has so many patients, and how she explains the operation of like the fight or flight system to them and how she works with them. And it's a really good explainer. So I'm going to put the link for that down in the description below, and when you have some time, check it out. It's really great. If you found this video, please check out some of my other videos or subscribe, and I hope that you can take it easy if you can. I know that's not always possible, but if you can, take it easy, go gently on yourself, and I hope I see you on the next one.